let's go over to the West. And guys, I am so excited for this matchup. I think the entire hockey world is. It's a couple of the best players on the planet up against each other in the Western Conference Finals. You've got Connor McDavid of the Edmonton Oilers and Nathan MacKinnon of the Colorado Avalanche. And by the way, what a finish to that Game 6 between the Blues and the Avs. I was watching it. Darren Helm, of all people, scores with 5.6 seconds left in regulation, I believe it was, to send Colorado on to their first Western Conference Finals berth since 2002, believe it or not. So that's huge for them. And then what a story the Edmonton Oilers have been this season as well, guys. We can remember 16-5 start. Then they were just atrocious for probably 2.5 months. Dave Tippett out the door. In comes Jay Woodcroft, completely turns things around, a breath of fresh air. And this team is in the Western Conference Finals. Who would have thought? I had Calgary moving on, but it's Edmonton. This is going to be a great series. As much as I want to take Edmonton, as much as I would love to see them in the Stanley Cup Finals, I do finally think that Colorado is going to pull through. But I could see this going 6 or 7. I can't decide, but I'm going to take the Avalanche. So kind of a long-winded intro into this one, but what do you guys think about this matchup? It's going to be great.
Well, if the second round is indicative about one thing, it's that if your top guys aren't going, you're out of here. Florida Panthers, Barkov had 7 points in the playoffs. Huberdeau had 5 points in the playoffs. Big Huberdeau guy. What was going on there? Don't know. Their big guys weren't going. They got swept in the second round. I'll tell you, both sides have the big guys going in this one. But frankly, I've got to go with the bigger ones. And I've got to go with McDavid and Draisaitl in this series. They have 10 more points than the second place player in terms of points in the playoffs this year. That's ridiculous. That is such a run they're going on right now. And the whole team as a whole looks good. I'm not saying they're only carrying. I'm saying the whole team looks good and their big guys are on a whole different planet right now. So I've got to go with Edmonton here. They've got so much momentum. A, getting out of the first round finally for them. B, beating Calgary in the Battle of Alberta. That is a huge momentum gain for them. I'm going to go with them, although, I obviously this whole time I've had a little vendetta against Colorado of my own, and I haven't picked them to win a series in my bracket other than the first round. So yeah, I'm going to go with Edmonton, and I think I'm going to take them also in Game 7.
Yeah, I think we can agree that this series is going to be tight and also super fun. And so I'm going to go 7 games. I had a really tough one. I had a really tough decision here. I'm going to go Colorado. 7 games, but I think we can agree 7 games will probably be what this series amounts to. Money Puck right now has Colorado at 60% and Edmonton at 40. I think it should be as close to 50-50 as you're going to get because, Case, like you said, the big guys on both teams are just chugging along right here. And I posted a graphic the other day. I don't know if you guys saw it or not. It was the top 10 points per game producers in the entire history of the NHL playoffs. 4 of the top 10 are playing in this series right now. McDavid, Draisaitl, MacKinnon, and Mikko Rantanen. I was surprised that Rantanen was in there, but he's having a hell of a career, especially in the playoffs. So There you go. You've got 4 of the top 10 point producers in the playoffs going head to head. This is going to be incredible, guys. It's going to be a bloodbath. And oh yeah, add Cale Makar to that mix as well. And, Evander Kane, who's been having an incredible playoff, and Zach Hyman as well. This is going to be so much fun. It's 2 teams with so much to prove, and both on incredible heaters right now after the second round. Like, Colorado has looked like a dominant force since entering the playoffs, and Edmonton since beating Calgary. Like, that is such a momentum boost. So
Yeah.
and then for Colorado too, even getting out of the second round, they've had troubles there. Like you said, harp off the top, this is the first time they've been to the conference finals since 2002. So they're over the hump. Edmonton's over the hump. This is going to be a battle, and I can't wait. But I'll go Colorado in 7.
Yeah, I was so close to 50-50 on this one. The one thing, like, you can say this is stupid all you want. The one thing that really just like pushed it just over the edge of 50-50 was the fact that in an OT win, Draisaitl had 4 assists on 4 goals. McDavid scored the game winner in that game. I think Evander Kane was the only other, like, that line scored all the goals. And then on the other side of things, Nathan McKinnon scored a hat trick with one of the most beautiful goals I've seen all year. I love that. I love how that man just gallops down the ice when he gets the puck.
Beautiful.
Scores a hat trick and they lose in overtime. And to me, I was like thinking about how your dynamic players have to step up in this series. Well, when the dynamic players stepped up in Edmonton, they won. And that's what pushed me over the edge.
Yeah.
Case, you know what's funny? Last round's predictions, I remember you saying Connor McDavid in however many games, in 7 games or something, in 6 games, when you picked Edmonton to win. And it's like how can you be both right and wrong in the same statement? Because you said Connor McDavid in 6, meaning that Connor was going to carry this team, and he has. He's leading all of the playoffs in points, tied with Leon Draisaitl, and no one's even close to them after that. But at the same time, they've been getting incredible depth scoring from those guys we've mentioned as well. They've been getting pretty solid goaltending too. Nothing to write home about, but they about league average goaltending. And Jay Woodcroft has found a way to utilize this defense group. And it's been working. So I was thinking about that before this episode, and I thought, that's the perfect statement, because it's like it was both came true and wasn't true, but in a good way for both.
For sure. And probably the 2 things that made us look like the biggest group of assholes this playoffs is Edmonton and the New York Rangers defense. So
Yeah.
I mean, my sun hat was pretty bad last episode, but those things
physically look like an asshole. Yeah.
I think, like, you look at the Avs blue line, and obviously Makar at the top, but I mean Devon Taves, excellent, and they've got some other guys as well, and then Edmonton
missing Gerard though now.
Gerard. Yeah,
broke his sternum. That would hurt a lot.
Yeah, that's rough for sure. But Eric Johnson, great vet, and then you look at Edmonton, and obviously there's Nurse, but then they're kind of just getting it done by committee, and CC's playing well, Bouchard, Kulak, all these guys, Duncan Keith, and I really want to take Edmonton. I was like you guys, really close to 50-50 on this, because Edmonton has just faced a lot of adversity, a lot of criticism. Like, we can't lie, right, guys? Like, we criticize a lot of the moves that Kenny Holland made in the offseason, and look at where they are now. And I'm a big fan of Jay Woodcroft. I love after the win over Calgary, just comes right off the bench. He's got the one hand on the hip, the good old power stance, waiting to shake hands with Daryl Sutter and congratulate him on a great series. And by the way, too, that little boy Ben Stelter who has brain cancer and has become just an incredible super fan and ambassador for the team. It was his birthday the other day, actually, and just how the team has rallied around him. Such a great story, and you gotta feel good for the Oilers.
Secret weapon, just like Layla Anderson.
For the Blues.
2018. Yeah.
Yep, exactly. So anyway, it's going to be great, but I agree it's going to go the distance, and I have to take the Avalanche, but it's going to be awesome.